Since we have not fully started yet, let's try to not be on our phones as much this time so we have more usable video.
No. I'm not going to do that at all. What the fuck, nigga? What?
All right. On that note, perfect.
Keep all this shit in. Keep all of it.
At the end of the day,
Hey guys,
I would rather...
could we spend a second being more professional?
Nigga, no.
No,
Here's the
not at
thing,
all.
though. At least you told me now and not been like, yeah, buddy, I can try. And then like I'm going back to edit the video later, and then all of a sudden I'm like, this motherfucker
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna
try.
make an attempt to do that. No.
is
Not
on
at all.
his phone more than before
Oh
when I
yeah,
asked
I would
him
make it a
not-
point. I'm just gonna be staring at a picture, the reflection of me in that bitch. At that point, don't tell me how to live.
over
God,
and
this is
over
America.
and over and over.
Yeah, that's Orpheus. That's
Orifice Brewing. That's what we're doing, by the way. If we didn't tell you, Jamie, we're gonna start a new brand called Orifice Brewing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So we got, hey, you got a new Orpheus. That's what the
Or a
newsletter.
fist.
I know I said that. I'm sorry. New Orpheus.
House beers, the goatsy.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Oh man.
Oh. Is there a way to make goat's
it-
milk lactose beer?
No, you can have a Doppelbock, because Bach means goat,
Yeah.
or we can make it like a brown ale.
That's funny. Like a chocolate goat's ale. I'm with that.
Chocolate goatsy.
Oh, yeah.
You have base goatsy,
Mhm.
chocolate goatsy, milk stout goatsy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're in that.
Yeah.
And then what for topical? Is there a way to make? Have they made a fish beer? Because what did James say? Sushi. He would want to eat sushi out of the goatsy, but he
That was him.
No,
it was you.
No,
That
He was
wants
gonna
to
eat more ass.
I'm,
out of
I'm
it.
not eating anything out of goatsy.
Hold on. I'm trying to think if they made a fish beer. I'm sure if anybody did, that it would have been like Evil Twin, maybe.
Evil Twin makes some pretty good stuff.
Shout out
They
to
make
the
good
twins.
stuff.
Shout out
They
Evil
make
Twin.
like big ass money stout, brewed with Totino's pizzas and quarters.
Ooh.
It's not good.
Oh.
It's
Well, that's a bummer.
disgusting. It's
It
23%.
tastes like quarters.
No. They brew it on spare change with spare change like in it and like
What?
party pizzas.
What?
It's called
Oh.
Big Ass Money Stout, and it's brewed with frozen like Totino's pizzas.
And
And change.
actual change, like
Yeah.
money dollars?
Yeah.
Damn.
What?
That's close. That's as close as you're gonna get to the taste of cum when you're a man that you have not tasted.
Luckily, I don't know what that tastes like.
Yeah, me neither.
That's
but,
fair.
but I'm saying
How
like,
do you know that cum tastes like
Pizza
coins and
rolls
frozen
and,
pizza?
and coins? Yeah,
Yeah, frozen pizza rolls and coins.
yeah. That's what B taught me.
Hey, that's fair. So hey, everybody out there, your comment. Does cum taste like pizza rolls, frozen
And coins.
pizza rolls and coins?
Mm.
All right. So hey, welcome to When Awesome Collides. This your boy.
Oh no,
D-Mark.
hold on. You got to do the pause and then the do.
You gotta go roll the intro.
Oh yeah. Okay. Do it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll the intro.
There you go.
You're on with Maui,
No relation to the trademark whatsoever.
D-Mark,
I don't believe in none of this.
and X.
Which, by the way, Dick Wolf is the best name ever.
And this is When Awesome Collides.
All right, guys. Hey, welcome to When Awesome Collides. It's your boy D-Mark. I got Maui sitting next to me,
You're-
still in my headband gang like always.
Mm.
We got X over here, Sans headband, so it's cool. Jamie over there on the 1-2s, and by 1-2s I mean he's gonna look up stuff after we need him to do it, like he always does. Love to see it.
But we upgraded his headphones today, so maybe he'll feel like we love him.
Oh yeah, he's in there now. Like he is top quality.
Feeling special.
Oh,
I
yeah.
see tape on it. How is that an upgrade? There's tape on my man's
In all
headphones.
fairness, they may or may not have just been removed from a
A goatee?
display.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
from
they
a
might not
goatee?
even be the full-on headset, just the display headset.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's no doubt. Oh, so we got a pretty good episode for us. Good, great. We have a great episode.
Pretty
for you
mediocre
today.
episode today. with,
Honestly, it's a
that's what it sounded like.
great episode about a dumb topic.
Ooh.
So,
Not a dumb
spoiler,
topic, a
Spoiler
dumb-
alert! Spoiler alert!
Oh.
We're going to be talking about the New Mutants movie, if you can call it that. Today.
Womp womp.
Spoiler alert! It's abject garbage.
Hmm.
But you know what? Stick around, and you'll find out why. X.
Not clutch again.
God,
There it is.
man.
It just- he was like, "Oh shit!" On the spot. You know, I don't do well with that.
We
It's
keep
all right.
giving
It's
these
too.
two
It's
opportunities.
too. It's too open ended. Like
No, I got
you should
you.
have followed up. You should have been like X.
You know, he has to come third, bro.
something-
You can't toss up to him.
Come
He has to
on,
bounce
man.
off a nigga.
They're not
So
even
try again. This way. This way.
okay,
This way.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna be talking about New Mutants. Maui.
Oh, thanks, D-Mark. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Hey, interesting part about. I want to kind of share my story about me, how I got to watch New Mutants, right? So these guys said, hey, Maui, we're gonna watch New Mutants and make it happen. I say, hey, no problem, I'll make it happen, right? So interestingly enough, I took my brother to the barbershop, and there I was chilling, right? We had an appointment, so it was pretty almost in and out. And this nigga walks into the barbershop like, yo, I got the movies. And I'm from New York, so I got excited. I was like, oh shit, niggas still sell bootlegs in 2020. I was like, oh shit. He's like, yo, I got the Tyler Perry and I got the new X-Men. Me, of course, like he pops in saying that, and I was like, hold on, I don't need no Tyler Perry, but I know they ain't no new X-Men movie. Can I see what you talking about? Since he had started it off with an old movie that I assumed, and no shit, he said had the New Mutants, and I was like, how much you want for this? He was like, man, $5. I was like, shit, all right, cool, I'll spend the $5 on it. So he's like, let me pop it in real quick so you can see the beginning of the movie and know there's some good quality shit. And now me, as a person that's worked customer service, I was like, wow, what excellent service. He's like, I got a portable DVD player. First off, I didn't know niggas just had portable DVDs players.
In that business, bro, they got you.
Bro.
I mean, you've already, here's the problem. You've never dealt with quality customer service.
No, that's what I'm saying, bro. He's like, bro, watch. I don't sell no bullshit. He's what he told me. I don't sell no bullshit. I'm going to show you the movie. I was like, all right, cool. Let me see. Popped it in. Plays like, see how I played right away? I was like, yeah, I did see how it played right away.
like a regular movie.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, you see that? Yeah, you see that nice and clear picture? I was like, yeah, man, it's something. Because it was a cam, obviously, so it's as good as it was going to get. I was like, man, fuck it, man. It's $5. Fuck, these niggas talk about the movie was shit. So I was like, fuck it, let's roll with it. But yeah, you know what? I went into it and I was watching it, right? And I was like, all right, it's going to be some dog shit, right? And I'm like, hey, you know what? This isn't that bad. And I started watching it some more, and I was like, hey, man, these guys, look at all these themes that they're kind of touching on and whatnot. And then I was like, man, these guys really kind of sold this thing short. I don't see why everybody's shitting on it. It's probably like, oh, it's not based off the comic book. I don't know why. Like anybody complains about anything that's superhero related.
Right.
And then sure enough, then the bullshit happened. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? And I don't know if that's how you guys felt towards the end, but I was just like, what is this? And then it hit me. Oh, all y'all casuals finally see what our anime people feel like when they watch filler arcs. This is just an X-Men filler arc. It was just some bullshit. And I was like, wow, how dare they do this
How dare they charge me to watch filler content?
Bro.
That's actually a really good description.
Yeah.
I don't even. Okay, so my theory on it.
There he comes. Now you can see. Now we got him going.
I get it.
You
We
see?
got the process.
Yeah.
His brain is he's like a semi truck. Like it takes a long time to get there.
You
but
know
once he
you
gets
have
there, he's in
you
it.
have some cars that when you hit the gas they go super
like
fast,
a
super
semi
fast.
truck.
And then you have some cars that have to be jumped, and then you turn them off because you accidentally flooded them, and then you have to like let the flooding out, and then jump them again, and then hit the gas and hope they work.
Mm-hmm.
That's you.
That's me.
There we
So
go.
I'm a Tesla. He's
the
the old
1998
94.
Camry.
Yeah.
Still going though. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
still
important
I mean,
part.
I'll run forever. I just
It's gonna take you a
I'm
while
just
to
not
get
a
there.
quality machine. But here's my theory on the New Mutants, right? I didn't think of it necessarily as filler content. I'm familiar with the New Mutants. I am not like just like fucking like all about them. It's part of the X-Men arc that I'm not sure I if it wasn't a thing I wouldn't care. But
Sound like some filler arc shit so far.
Well, sure, but I didn't think about it as like filler arc because
Mhm.
obviously there's some really good characters that come out of the New Mutants, and they're trying to introduce younger characters and have a more substantial like same actor franchise, right?
Mhm.
And Disney bought Fox, and they've been toting this movie forever. So I actually didn't know if it was Disney or Fox who was behind the making of the movie until the night that we went. And then after watching it, I assumed Fox said, we made this movie as bad as we possibly could so that Disney had to release a bullshit ass X-Men movie under their, like they paid for this.
Yeah.
Like you get, like if the guy that sold you the DVD hadn't turned it on,
Yeah.
and when you turned it on, it was in like 12 instead of like 480 or 720.
12p.
It was just 12p or some shit.
Damn.
And you're like,
16-bit.
and you're like, man, I paid for this shit. Like I gave somebody money, and I think that they're just like, fuck you, Bob
No,
Iger.
hey.
And then he just pays for it. And he's like, God. And the thing that made it even worse, it's the first movie that I've been able to see since movie theaters reopened. Imagine how excited I am.
Oh,
Used to
man.
see 3 to 5 movies a week.
Mm.
get into that theater, sit
Yeepers.
down in the nice seat in Dolby Cinema, and I'm like, yeah, and the sound is running through my body, and I'm shaking, and the chairs are fucking moving, and all this shit, and then all of a sudden I gotta watch
A
an
giant.
hour and a
Yeah.
half of the worst Russian accent I've ever seen.
Mm.
Teen Wolf, Twilight ass bullshit. That was the New Mutants.
Yeah, I'll stand by my statement. I'm gonna rip it, but then I'm also gonna be a little bit constructive. So for everybody out there who didn't know, New Mutants, as a movie, I guess. I guess as much as like waterboarding could be considered swimming, it's so it's a movie that
Dude, there's water.
Shout out. If you're into waterboarding, please hit my DMs.
hit the line. We
Hit the
got you.
DMs.
We
Yep.
got you. Yeah. So it's a movie. It's based on a Marvel property, where it's like an offshoot of the X-Men. Honestly, I haven't done a ton of research on the New Mutants just because literally the movie soured me on learning more about the New Mutants, which is kind of a bummer. But bummer. Shout out to anybody who watches our Fall Guys streams. That will make sense to you. So it's based off of 5 characters from the New Mutants. There's a bunch of New Mutants, which is kind of funny that they picked those 5.
Those are the original 5.
Those are the original 5.
Yeah.
Okay, well that actually goes into what I would have done to fix the thing. So they're all so this one, the main character whose name I don't remember. That's how memorable of a movie this was.
Moonstar. I don't remember her first name.
Danielle Moonstone. Moonshine.
Moonstar.
Moonstar.
This is
Danielle
really
Moonstar.
not PC.
Yeah. What?
It's really not PC.
What do you
right?
mean? It's her name, bro.
But we're guessing just because she's Native American.
And
it has
her
to be.
name is Moonstar.
It
No, you're
starts
right.
with
You're right.
Moon.
But I'm saying,
So when you say
perceived
Moonstone,
as-
Pokemon, Moonshine, the drink.
yeah.
So
So
yeah,
you pick
Danielle
things that you
Moonstar.
know.
Mhm.
Her reservation gets
Look that up for us, Jamie.
destroyed. He just did.
He did.
I did.
Oh, was it
Yeah, he
Daniel
was on
Moonstar?
point.
It's
Yeah.
Danielle Moonstar.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you were adding in on my
Nah,
bad.
he was
bro,
on
my
point.
bad,
He was
my
on
bad,
point.
my bad.
He's
See,
on his game.
I'm behind. I'm
He got
now
a-
the 94 Chevy.
He got a new pair of headphones and he's in the game.
Damn.
Yeah, EA Sports right now.
I hear feeling special.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So her reservation destroyed by what did she say?
F5 tornado.
An F5 tornado. And then she ends up in a hospital, which the logistics of that hospital, I'm gonna get into that later. But she meets 4 other mutants, and a counselor, and basically they're trying to confront why she is the way she is, what happened and all that stuff. It's very vague. And that's another reason why it makes it so bad. Is that they do a very bad job of like they're just like, hey, this is what's going on, accept it or don't. And you basically so weird stuff starts happening in the hospital, like everybody's worst fears start happening. Essentially, spoiler alert, obviously. And essentially it boils down to her mutant ability, which obviously you guessed it from the first 6 seconds of the movie and 4 seconds of her interaction with other people, is that her ability is she basically creates everyone's worst fears in physical form.
Which here's the thing though, like that's not her actual ability in the comics.
What's the
Her actual ability is she can create any kind of hallucinatory like experience, period. So she can create, it's not just your worst fear. It doesn't manifest your worst fear, and it doesn't make it real. So you know how in this, like, the priest burned the shit out of Arya Stark, and
Right.
I'm just going to call her that because fuck it.
Yeah.
But he burns her, and then those fucking, like, Slender Man tooth demon things just keep running
Yeah, with
around.
the smiley face, yeah.
Yeah, just running around all over the place. She doesn't manifest real shit. It's hallucinations. So she can make good things look like good things are happening or bad things are happening, but they just focused on one thing, which I feel like was it makes her almost unusable as a character going forward, that her only ability is to take somebody's worst fear and then
manifest them.
It manifests it and turns it against
Right,
everybody.
especially because it implies that she is psychic, like beyond like they never
She can read their
imply-
mind.
right? So they never imply. Remember, like, so they didn't imply that she has to know what their fear is. She just like intuitively knows it,
Right.
which I guess is kind of a good power, because if you run into enemies and stuff like that, if she already intuitively knows what their worst fear is, fine, I guess. But like,
Yeah.
I keep
And
trying
then
to
she acted like she could read minds, because at one point the doctor was talking to her and she was like, I saw visions when she drugged me of a place that blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that doesn't seem like that's the doctor's worst fear.
Yeah.
It's how are you now reading her mind when you're being told that that's not even close to what your actual like power is?
I took that as like
it said that she had psionic abilities, which in that case,
Well, yeah, but psionic is like psychic and psionic
But
are
They're not the same thing.
they're
isn't
not the same
psionic,
thing.
like
Like Psylocke,
the umbrella.
Psylocke
over...
has Psylocke. Well, right, like Psylocke has psionic abilities with her blades. Like she can make mental manifestations of the energy and whatever. She has other powers too.
But she
like,
can't read your
she
mind.
can't read your mind.
She's not.
Not
she's
all
not
psychic
Charles.
abilities, right? You know.
get out of my head,
Out of
child.
my head.
I had to say it. Yep, I had to do it.
Just one more week where if we said Charles, it would make sense instead of just calling every
Right.
person in every show Charles.
Right.
The trickiest part I had with this, I'm sure we talked about this before a little bit. Obviously, we didn't want to talk about too much to kind of ruin the freshness of this. But one of my biggest problems is that this small thing, what I think would have drastically improved the movie. I know it. What this was in production for like 4 years. It was supposed to come out 3 years
feels like
ago.
it was in production hell. Wasn't it supposed to be a TV show at first?
Yeah, and then it was supposed to come
Man,
out
that
3
makes
years.
so much more
Oh,
sense.
right, and that's what I was about to say because and then it was supposed to come out 3 years ago or 2 years ago or
And then
something
they ended up
like
like
that.
recasting big
Yep,
parts
and
of
then
it.
redoing everything and basically trying to salvage from what they're. I legitimately feel like it's gonna sound weird, but this small little thing. Have you ever, we all play Overwatch. We all at one. If we don't play it currently, we all played it at one time. I'm sure people out there understand what I'm about to say. Simply, when they announce a new character, what they do is they put a small little vignette. I call them balsamics because it sounds like vinaigrette. But if I said balsamic, that wouldn't have made sense. Now it will going forward. But if they put out a vignette, a little short 25-minute prequel to each person's story, doesn't have to be even like 25 minutes. It could just be like a little 10-minute little short snippet about, like, you don't have to be specific. You don't have to be like, this is this guy, this is his motivation, this is why he feels how he feels, but like a little preview of each person's past and how they got to come to the hospital and release that leading up to the movie. Even something as small as that, 50 minutes total, for all five
and
characters.
who they are.
And who they are, what their names, stuff like that. They get you. They're assuming that this property is large enough that we would know or care who these people are. We don't. I don't know their names. I don't know any other names. Even the best character in the whole thing was the chick. Old girl.
Russian lady.
Rasputin's sister.
Was it Magic or Magic? Or
Well,
It's
Magic is
Magic,
her.
And
Is her name? Yeah.
She's such a cool kid. By the time I actually figured out
was
who
dope.
the
Yeah.
fuck, no,
Cool
not
ass
even in the
character.
movie.
No. I mean,
In the comics, Magic is fucking amazing.
Right.
And by the time,
but her shit's a little bit ridiculous in the comics. I did research that,
It's-
and she gets nuts.
but she's the only character of real note, and the way that they handled her
was poor.
was awful.
Right. So it did very little to make you care about, like, the entire movie they did nothing to make me care about their names, care about them as people. It's like they took a CW show, like a skeleton, like they went to
shout out CW.
shout out for ruining all the things of our
The
past.
worst basic cable channel
Easily.
of all time.
Bring back UPN. So
Best.
UPN.
ever.
UPN was the shit. So yeah, it's like they took a CW show format and they said, all right, we'll just use this and just slap, like, what do kids like? Oh, they like scary shit. Okay, it's a horror movie. Yeah, but like we got this Marvel franchise we gotta put in there. Okay, put powers in. And they're like, okay, so should we focus on content? No, that's enough. CW show, horror movie, powers, lights go boom boom. We're good. We got it. Like, they did so little to
Probably
make
why I enjoyed
Hey,
it.
right, I get it.
A smidget.
Yeah, Jamie's a sucker for
This
I
CW.
said,
Lights go boom boom.
I said, I want to see powers, and things happen.
But you didn't even really see
That's all I wanted
powers
to see.
until the end of the movie. You saw a couple little things, but you didn't even get to see anything really cool.
I didn't say I needed cool powers. I just, like, dude was on fire. Boom, that's a power.
He just want to see the effects.
Old girl got fur in her neck. Ooh, that's a power.
That's fair. With the worst scratching.
Old
animation
girl
of
turned
history,
into the
bro.
corniest fucking. It's like they said, okay, you remember
In the
the
comic,
beast?
she's more of a werewolf, and
She can
that's
do
way better.
She can do
yeah,
both.
Yeah, she can do both
But
in the comic.
the Teen Wolf look that they gave her was not very werewolfy, so it lost its appeal. But the scene where she jumped on the fucking doctor's like back and
It's my
took her
favorite scene in the
glove,
entire movie.
and she just like wow,
It's
wow,
right. It literally looks
wow.
like she was. It's like she was in a tub splashing water on herself. I was dying. I'm not even joking.
But
in
it's
a
like-
theater full of people. I laughed for like a good 5 minutes because I literally was like, "Is she trying to splash the blood on herself? What's going on here?"
It's
bro?
like Fox said, "Hey, you remember how we have the Beast in some movies? You know those movements that he does? What if we made it worse than that, but kind of like that? Like they just it's like they purposefully ruined this movie so that nobody could use any of the characters.
Which is a shame because it could have. So, beside them giving each of the 5 characters their own little movie itself, I think the vignette thing would have been minimum. Like I get that it should have been a show. Don't release it. Like I get that it's a property that you spent money on. Like put it on. What's Marvel's thing? Like they're owned by Disney. Put it on Disney Plus. Like what I'm saying, charge somebody $5. You probably would have got a wider audience at this point. But this should have been a show. It's almost. I get that. What was the budget? Like 40 million, something like 82 million.
It was 67 million.
Yeah, 67 million.
And
I
it
bet
was supposed to come out 2 years ago.
Yeah, right. And I bet it grossed $1. Like I bet it was our dollar. We paid the $1. Like
No, we didn't because we have the AMC thing and they gave us a free month because of COVID.
Oh,
so
that's
really,
fair.
I
So,
went for
yeah.
the freest of free.
Right.
They gave me money to go.
Yeah, I mean, so it should have been a show. They should have just sucked it up, released it. Like you can release this movie as it is on Disney Plus or something like that, and then try again. Like we live in an era of reboots. Like I was at the movie theater yesterday. Tenet has a preview for the new Dune movie on it. Dune, yeah, I'm not even joking. I literally was like, this looks like Dune. And
Yeah,
then-
they've been talking about that for a minute.
Right, and the thing popped up. I was like, they're just remaking every movie. So we live in an era where it's totally fine to remake things. It's totally fine to retry. Why would you not say, this is bad? Let's release it, get a couple of dollars out of it, try to make our money back. When we're Marvel, we can hemorrhage money.
I
It doesn't
guarantee
matter.
it was probably in the buyout. Like I can feel like some corporate exec at Fox was like,
I'm pretty
hey,
sure. I think it was. I think
They
the
had to
the
release
director
it.
or producer or whatever. Part of the whole thing was that they had to release it, and it had to be his version because I think Disney tried to change
Disney.
it.
Yeah, I looked that up.
And it said the guy who made it said you can basically you have to release my version of the movie. And
Like
that
it was a
it.
writer in the buyout.
Yeah.
So they were actually forced to release
But
the
to
movie
think
as
if it
part
was-
of the buyout.
If it was supposed to come out in 2018, that means they filmed it probably like 2016, 2017. Like all those kids were like younger, way younger.
I guess, but I mean, okay, so and you tell me if I'm wrong, DMARC, because it seems you said people are not ugly. People are poor.
Yes.
I'm just waiting for Macy
So-
Williams to get older so she can maybe get attractive.
She's not getting any more-
She's like 20.
She's not getting any more attractive.
She ain't ugly.
She's like
Are
She's
you
ugly.
out of your mind?
she's like 16,
not ugly.
17, 18.
No,
now.
she's not.
She's like 20 something.
No,
In the
no.
last
You
season
are
of Game
you are
of
Jamie.
I'm the
You are-
Jamie.
Hold on. Jamie, in the last season of Game of Thrones, she showed her entire boobs.
That was CGI.
No,
Oh, look it up. That was CGI.
I did look it up,
Look
and they
that up
said
too.
that it was her choice to do the nude scene.
Nah, look it up too.
Look that up too, Jamie.
Dang, she's 23.
Yeah, I told
Yeah,
you. Yeah,
she's not getting any better.
Right.
She's gonna be Mr. Bean ugly for the rest
No,
of her
but
life.
that's
Also,
her, no.
go ahead and look it
I
up.
think she's fine.
It wasn't CG.
Yeah, she looked
Yeah.
cool.
What are
But
you
also,
guys
that's her aesthetic.
talking about?
That's
Yeah,
her
bro.
aesthetic.
Her aesthetic looks like she's been run over in the face.
Yeah,
that's
that's
for
fine.
you.
Yeah, that's objective.
Yeah, you're also a 2 to us, so it's all good.
That's what I'm saying, right? Why imagine being a 2 discussing
complaining, yeah.
discussing the looks of people above your station?
Right.
Wow.
He's a
You
nice
were- Whoa. Jeez.
7.5.
This is what the
No,
bourgeoisie
she's
must
not.
feel
No,
like when
she's
the
not.
proletariat
Absolutely.
say,
You're calling her a 7.5.
That's her.
Yeah,
That's
That-
her.
that is her
It's
body?
her. It's her. She didn't use a
She's
body
the
double
one
or
who
nothing.
said she wanted to do the nude scene. They
I'm about
weren't
to
even
get
going to
the
make her.
lotion out. Your boy thought it was a body double. I know what I'm doing tonight. I can tell you that.
So you
Let's
confidently told me I was
go.
wrong because of something you thought, even though I'd already looked it up.
and
Yeah,
look
that's
at
how that works.
You know the coolest part about that? After I figured out I was wrong, I have accepted that.
But
And
you didn't tell me I was right. You said, I'm going to get the lotion.
no, that's implied.
That's implied. The
No,
lotion
I don't want it
implies
implied. I want you to look at me and be
I-
like, you know what? You were
You
right.
know
that
he
is
needs
fair.
it-
He
you know he
do
needs-
need
yeah.
the dub. He do need the
Mhm.
dub.
Yep.
Xavier.
Hold on. I mean, let me turn this up a little bit. Go ahead.
So as we were saying, so again, the thing about the show
I
or
hate
about
it
the
here.
movie, sorry, is also plot hole. And we can go into that. This is a big plot hole for me. So that chick's the main doctor's power is the barriers, right? They stay up even when she's unconscious. That's weird. She had the barrier over the thing is
Do you think that it, hold on, do you
is
think,
that created by the machine or is that her? Because her power is barriers.
but do you think that it was actually up or she had it up enough that,
That they
she
just, like-
convinced people kind of like electricity on a cage?
Maybe, I don't know. Because no. Because I think remember when it rained at night, old girls passed out. They went outside to make out. Barriers
But
still up.
Passed out. We don't actually know. The whole movie was so
Think she
fucking
was just
weird.
asleep,
She could have been pretending
pretending
to
to be passed out. Why?
Why was the whole movie a movie?
That's fair.
So
Also, how
ev-
did they get supplies to that school? Did that not bother anybody else? Like the
Did-
hospital?
did
Like,
it
how
not
they get
bother-
food? How did they get clothes? Like they
Yeah,
had
they
new.
had it. They had it already there.
They had it already there. They have
Yeah.
all the food.
Yeah, they've been shopping. It's
How
cool.
are they going to refill the pool after old boy turned
Who
into a
cleans the
fire.
pool?
Who turned into a fireman and was trying to fuck the girl who wasn't a girl that he
That was my
lit her on
favorite
fire.
scene too. By
And
the
then
way,
he's like, "You were in here," and she's like, "No, I was not.
No, I was not in here.
I am from Russia." That's how she sounds, guys. Just so you know, it's not we're not doing bad Russian accents. I mean, we are, but
But that's
for
the point.
for an hour and a half, you hear this girl basically go, "Vodka, I am Russian, vodka." That's it. That's it.
You know what I learned
That's
from
her
this
whole
entire
accent.
movie though, is that those physical her projections are tangible. You could totally fuck her projections. Like
Those
if
smiley
there's one
face
thing I
things
learned,
or the dragon.
the chick, when she made the copy of the Russian girl in the pool, he could have piped her down.
Well, he tried, but he got too hot.
Right, but I'm saying like that's great. That's a better use of her power. Sex stuff.
It's
Pipe me down.
it's a side hustle called "Fuck Whoever You Want." You need to see a picture of them,
Yeah.
and then you just have to be afraid of them. Fuck who you're afraid of.
I
There's
didn't.
got to be a kink in
I'd
there, right?
invest in that. I'd invest in hate fucks. Yeah.
Not hate fucks, fear fucks.
Fear factor.
Oh God.
Fear factor, but fear factor. Oh, okay. Yeah, edit that out. All right.
Why would I edit out such a grade A joke?
I don't know.
Okay,
That's
hold
true.
on. We're gonna stop for a moment. Jamie, have you heard D-Mark's newest joke that he looked up on the internet or whatever that you told me yesterday? Go ahead and tell him now. Go ahead. I bet Jamie loves it.
No. I didn't look it up on the internet. We were just thinking about it. I said so. What did this? No, this is better meant for the beginning of an episode.
No. I want it now. I
Okay.
remember it now. I want to hear it now.
I said it would be. I told him he said, hey, I have more time now, right? So I was like, yeah, go back to school. And he was like making up all excuses of why life is hard and blah, 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 I can't do things. Blah, blah. So he was doing that. And then I was like, yeah, just go and get your doctorates. You can be a doctor and just be cool. And he was like, no. And then I was like, hey, if I get a doctorate in botany, right, and specialize in capsicum, you know what capsicum is?
Nope.
Capsicum, capsaicin, peppers. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I said if I get a specialty in that, then I would literally be Dr. Pepper. Yeah, see?
No.
Yeah.
I told him immediately. I even thought about it. I tried it off and on for like 20 minutes. I tried to enjoy the joke. And I'm like, I know Jamie would enjoy this joke. See, even Maui. How bad's that joke, bro?
It's great.
He
Maui
looks
doesn't have it.
bummed. I'm sorry, but
He's like, why?
I thought it was funny. He does not look pleased. Maui?
the New Mutants.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, now you got it.
Yeah, you in there.
Nah, we good.
All right. Yeah, so one of the things that after that incredible joke, after that banger there, feel free to put that on a t-shirt. Just a picture of me and a pepper in a pepper suit. I mean, we'll really do that. What are the
With your degree in the background too.
Yeah, hell yeah. From
Oh my God.
Has to be from MIT.
from Pepperdine University. Let's go.
Pepperdine.
I'm in there. Oh wow.
Is that a real university?
Yes, it is. It's in
Yes.
California. Yeah.
Yes.
The Pepperdine Green Wave.
Mhm.
So yeah, so what would you do you think that this was salvageable in any way? Do you think that they could have made this? I'm not talking about like, hey, scrap this movie, it's terrible, but in its current incarnation, were there things that you were like, yeah, this if they had just done this, it could have saved this movie or made it not just a dumpster fire?
Yeah, I think so this movie I had the same feelings that I had with Project Power, where I was like, man, this makes more sense for a show, because I felt like a lot of things were kind of rushed and a lot of things really didn't like flush out at all. Like I said in the beginning, I was like, this isn't that bad. And then like once I noticed how long I've been watching and how much movie was left, I was like, oh, they're not gonna flush out any of this. And it just became like a hellfire shitstorm of like ass pulls and things that don't make any sense, or things that just made all of everything irrelevant to me. Like the big payoff was that there was a giant bear. Like that was the first like disappointment. Like there's this giant bear that just appears and like fuck shit up, because that's like my greatest fear. And I was like, wow, really? This is what this whole movie was fucking building to, was that she's manifesting everybody's fears. Cool, that's fine, I guess. Ooh, wow, 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 woo, 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 mer, mer, mer. And then like her big fucking fear is this bear that she's known about all her life, and her fucking it was just a giant like waste of time to me. And I felt the same way I feel like when I watch Phil Arcs, and I'm just like, wow, this meant absolutely nothing. I'm glad that I wasted all of my time for things that were just irrelevant and non-consequential. And it's just the same feeling that I had. But if it was a show where you kind of break things down and you had, like you saying, the backstories of each characters, and like the big payoff felt more because there was more things involved, especially if you start seeing like I don't know her name, I'm just gonna call her Svetlana like you guys did. When she was
Ileana.
Svetlana?
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what I got.
Ileana. Hey,
Ileana.
there you
Ileana,
go.
there we go. Cool.
Ileana Rasputin.
There we go. So
Rasputina.
It was Rasputina.
But their last name is it? Wow, okay.
Rasputin's probably like TM'd somehow.
makes sense. What was her name again?
Ileana.
Ileana.
Charles.
Yeah. So like Ileana stuff was really, really fascinating to me. Like I liked her whole like power. I actually go to a different world, whatever, and how that manifests. I like her backstory. Besides the very clear like child molestation, rapey stuff that they kind of like touched on, whatever. But it was still really interesting how they went about it, and even like how they presented it was really, really cool. Even in my $5 bootleg, I could barely tell what dark was. Like I thought it was still really cool. And then her kind of jumping in and showing her power and stuff like that. She seeming really, really freaking cool. And I was like, wow, it really sucks that you have like you guys mentioned, like one really good power, like one really good, like really cool power, really cool mutant that I feel like can
I would
meet
say two.
Yeah,
Old shaky boy. Old shaky like
Cannonball?
like-
Cannonball.
Oh, I was just gonna call him Coca-Cola. Like you shook up the Coke and he went.
But it's actually Cannonball, and the fact that they did such a poor job with him as well, I didn't know it was him until after. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Who
I
are
mean,
the
he's got a
people?
sick power too, and I'm like, that's a
Yeah,
bummer.
his was
Like
pretty
you know,
cool.
Yeah, that was all like they handled him completely wrong. And then like I like how they went about like keeping the fire dudes thing like kind of like like wrapped up, and it was supposed to be like a really big deal when you finally figured out. That was really cool. But unfortunately, how they went about it was the funniest shit ever to me. Like so like the manifestation happened, and like they're like, hey, what the fuck is going on? You see him like just like fucking being pissed off, like like Rock, to me like Rock Lee, like no, I'm sorry, no, like that meme of that black kid crying. He's just like, and that's what he looked to me, just like, oh, and he's like, man, you're on fire and you mad. That sucks, bro. Like, imagine having like an emotional breakdown and everyone knows exactly what's going on, and also like you were totally like trying to get fucked, whatever, and now you have to like explain to everybody, like, no, I was totally gonna like fuck old like
pipe her down. And I'm so mad I can't now.
and apparently she's acting like nothing happened. Like, what the fuck? Like, you're the whole reason why I'm pissed off. It was so fucking hilarious to me. My favorite scene in the movie.
I feel like the best thing they did in the movie though is when he went, Johnny Storm at the end of the movie, because God forbid, we get unique powers in the Marvel universe, but all his clothes were gone, and I actually really appreciated that because I hate more than anything like. How the fuck does the Hulk lose every article of clothing
But pants?
but his shorts?
yeah,
You
and
wanna
they
see that
grow with them,
schmeat?
and they turn what?
You want to see that schmeat?
I mean,
Like,
nah, bro.
You know what would
the
be-
dude is a
Schmeat.
genius though.
I got
If he knows that, like,
No,
he probably makes
the
pants,
first time he
probably only
turned-
wears
The
like nanite
first
pants.
time he turns into the, why would he not get a nanite shirt then?
Right,
because that makes no sense.
Right,
How you gonna see his like
His
all his like
muscles.
hamburger
Yeah.
meat if he ain't?
Imagine having those kind of abs and wanting to hide them in
That's
the shirt.
fair,
Right?
bro.
Disrespectful.
So,
I mean,
ass.
but hold on,
basically-
you don't
so
tell me,
wait,
you're not telling me
the Hulk got
massive
no
schmeat.
schmeat?
Hold
No,
on,
so
you guys can't talk over each other. Try again.
You're telling me the massive schmeat you'd have to have down there is not worthy of him showing?
No, I would like to see it because I'm very curious, but I'm saying like it's probably not okay for like children.
Or maybe
Hmm.
his schmeat is the only thing that doesn't get any bigger.
No,
So when
don't
he
you
turns
dare.
into the
no,
Hulk,
please don't.
No.
so
Oh.
even if Bruce Banner's hung like a fucking horse, when he turns into the Hulk, it just
Baby
looks
schmeat?
like
Oh, no.
like Gerber baby dick.
No,
or
he
something.
has Hulk schmeat.
Nah, he got gamma.
He's the
schmeat,
only
bro.
nigga bigger than Timmy Turner.
That's it,
only
bro.
nigga is
I'm
the
not
Hulk.
saying that he might not have like huge balls or something, but like his actual dick
Nope.
is just normal.
Everything.
I hope everything.
Everything grows.
Please,
Everything grows.
Yeah.
please, Jesus, let
You see the size of my man's toes, you know that schmeat.
He
fucking-
probably
bro.
got hyper schmeat.
Bro,
Like,
I'm telling you.
We need
It's
to.
the Hulk, Timmy Turner, D-Mark. That's it.
hey,
I got you, bro.
okay,
I got you.
all right. I didn't know this was gonna be this kind of festivity, but okay, cool little day.
Edit that
cool
out.
little day.
Were we lying to people?
3, D-Mark.
Aw. Oh yeah, you should have
Yeah,
said.
yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
it's cool.
See, my
It's
bad.
cool. It's cool. It's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Actually, I'm not gonna. I don't want to edit it out. I'm gonna go to the part right where you said D-Mark, sound clip it, and then we'll have a D-Mark sound clip. So anytime we
Just
mess
put
up.
a D mark.
Okay, hold on.
D-Mark.
Maui. So now I got that because I never use it, and I actually have to go through and fucking. I got it.
Oh yeah, we got it. We in there. We in there.
We sound biting.
Yeah. Again, like it's I hate to harp on the same things, but it feels. I feel like they should have had they couldn't have had test audiences for this because I don't think anybody.
This is bad, and I feel
So-
bad.
Don't tell me they
the
had
Rotten
tests.
the Rotten Tomato score was like in the 20s when we saw it. Like I don't know when it came out. Now it's in the 30s, so it's gone up. But
That's because when you tell everybody,
81% of people, like users, have liked this movie, like Google users.
that's
or
because they
whatever.
haven't been to the movie theater in
That's
so long they
crazy.
forgot what movies were.
I'm just saying.
No,
you know
real
what?
quick. Go ahead.
No. You go ahead, real quick.
But I was gonna say real quick, they did do some things really well. Like I liked how they went about like the whole like them being gay whatever or being lesbian, and like they like the key part, which I don't know if anybody else like kind of took it as a big moment, was like she was like, hey, like I've never done this. She was like, what, being with a girl? She's like, nah, like being with anyone. And I was like, that's so cool, because typically like they make such a point to point out that people are gay or like there's a first time being like lesbian lovers or whatever, instead of like, nah, like it was just reciprocated as like love. I've never been with anybody, like, because it doesn't matter who you've been, whether it be male or female. Like it shouldn't be like a special thing. It's sharing that moment. So that was really, really, really cool. So
I didn't get that at all.
right, of course, because you're not cultured.
I don't even think it's that. Like we talked about Umbrella Academy, them doing things so well. It felt I honestly don't give a fuck if it was you want to call it straight love, gay love, bestiality. I don't really care.
Damn.
Oh,
you wanna-
hey, bud.
I don't really
What a
care.
slippery slope.
I don't
Get for being
really-
on your phone. You're like, hold on now.
I don't really care what we're calling this. The whole thing felt like the scene in Twilight where he's like, "You can't see me in the
Bro,
sun,"
it
and
did.
she's like, "Why can't I see you in the sun?" And he's like, "You won't accept me," and she's like, "I will love you forever." And then he goes into the sun and he's shining, and you're like, did they just vajazzle the entire fucking vampire? And then that's how that scene felt to me. Like it was so corny. Like I get what you're saying, like the intention
Mhm.
behind it, but I literally could not get past the fact that it felt like fucking the first Twilight movie.
Eventually, it being 2020, niggas will stop hating on Twilight. Like you would
I
think.
like
No,
Twilight. I like
no.
Twilight. I'm
Bro,
fine with it.
I've never seen it. I've never seen that
No,
one.
no,
I've
I'm
seen
fine with
all of like
The
the
last
memes.
no Twilight 3 and Twilight 4 because I don't remember the names of them.
There's not
they're-
a fourth Twilight movie. It's three
Yes, there
Twilight.
is.
Wasn't it like a part
No,
1 and part 2?
Breaking
like
Dawn.
the whole-
I
Oh yeah,
lied.
it was part two.
Yeah,
I
Yeah, yeah,
lied. You have Twilight, then
yeah.
something,
Yeah,
and
Twilight,
then
and then Breaking Dawn.
New
right?
Moon, and then Blood something, and then Breaking Dawn. So there were 5
Mhm.
because Breaking Dawn had 2 parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So you've seen all of them?
yes.
Okay, cool.
So I have seen all the first 2. The first Twilight movie is absolute trash. Like just from a movie standpoint, it's absolute garbage. I don't think Kristen Stewart, she acts the way they told her to act in the movie. The second one's bad. The third one, where they start to get more of like the vampire-y shit's good.
Mhm.
And then the last 3 movies, I guess, are just like your summer based off a book blockbuster. Like they're not
Yeah.
bad. The first Twilight movie is it's unwatchable. Like it's so bad.
Did
and
you read the books?
I didn't read.
I was
uh,
thinking about reading the books. I was thinking about going back
I
and reading
read-
those and
Apparently the books are like fantastic.
Yeah, I bet they're
No,
not.
no,
I
no.
bet
They're
dog
awful.
shit.
If
Are
you
they?
read, if that lady writes like the same lady who wrote 50 Shades of Grey,
I was actually going to mention that too. I was supposed to go read that too because everybody
like it's like
don't judge it until you read it. I'm like, oh, that's fair.
here's how the writing is.
Or 50 Shades is also a pretty good read too.
No,
but I'm also,
Have you read it?
it's not. First off, it's not meant for me, and it's okay. It's
No, but
not
have
meant
you
for
read
me.
it?
I have not.
It's
I
the
don't
ri-
read. First off,
Right.
it's my whole catchphrase.
It's so.
I don't know why you would ask me
It's
that
so,
question.
dude. It's like a 4th grader wrote it. Like it's
Mhm.
not. It's just. It's so remedial writing. It's literally the
Yeah.
most basic. Then
It's about like people fucking things,
I know
bro.
what the
like,
no, but both Twilight and that are written so poorly. Like
Yeah.
there's no descriptive words, there's no anything. It's like, and then this happened, and then this
I've
happened,
read some
and
pretty
then
good
this
erotica.
happened.
Why do I want to read it? Like, why do I want to read encyclopedia style writing?
No,
so when I'm
Encyclopedia-
trying to flick my bean.
No, see, you see, okay, that may be a difference
Women are
between-
more cerebral anyway, and they usually want things that are like that instead
You
of.
would know. You
I've
would
read
know.
some top tier
'Cause I'm a woman?
erotica, bro.
Clearly,
I'm just okay. Continue.
Top tier erotica exists. I've read some A1.
Yeah, no,
top
for
notch
sure.
stuff.
Yeah.
yeah. You can
Not
be
she
turned on.
showed-
I
with some
read
good
hentai
verse.
too, nigga. I know.
That's what I'm saying. Right, you know, what I'm
Yeah.
saying? we're men of culture.
Yeah.
I need I rec-
Dohentians, shout
yeah,
out.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out. No, I was gonna say something. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble on the internet. I was gonna shout
actually
out
want-
a couple hentais.
Hold on,
Yeah,
I
no,
wanna-
no,
I
don't
wanna
shut
know.
Do not shut no more of them things down, bro.
Okay,
Don't
you're
do
right.
it.
You're right. Hey, rest
People
in peace,
are
hentai Haven.
Yeah, shout out, man.
Hey,
R.I.P.
Oh, is it
take
gone?
a moment.
I'm pouring
Take a
this
moment.
out. Hold
Take a
on.
moment.
Please don't pour it out on my
You gotta-
floor.
You got to pour it out for
Alright.
hentai Haven.
I'll pour
No,
it out
he,
in my mouth.
he can pour it down his throat.
Hey, let's go.
It's very fitting.
That's more hentai than anything else. I
It
think.
is. It is. It do
Yep,
be.
it is. It do be.
Force it down your throat.
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So again, So
My hips are
insummation.
moving on their own.
That's my motherfucking
Nigga,
favorite
my fucking
line.
line,
That's
nigga.
my line. Yeah, no, the
This is
problem with it
hitting,
not
bro.
being a show, it does hit well. Shout out to Deviant Brewing. Hit us with some 14% Demon Schmeat. I don't know what the name of the thing is.
But it can't be
Scheming
that now.
demon.
Scheming Demons.
Scheming
Demon.
Last
not
year's
Demon Schmeat.
was Demon Seed though, so it was jizz.
Damn.
Yeah, it was hell jizz.
Mm.
But yeah, no, the thing about I feel cheated that this is such a good concept. Like I personally enjoy watching off the beaten path type things. Like one of my favorite, it's gonna sound stupid because it's completely unrelated, but I don't think anybody here has seen Over the Garden Wall. It came.
Oh yeah, I have, yeah.
It's one of the. It's like it came out right when Adventure Time and Flapjack was at its like peak.
Yeah.
So it was like everybody
Very
thought it was going to
forgotten
be
about.
right. Everybody thought it was going to be in like that kind of same kooky little vein. No, it was like
Pretty dark.
it was dark, and
Yeah.
like I was like, oh, this is good. Like this is incredible. Like it's self-contained. It's 1.5 hours long or whatever, but that entire ride was what it was meant to do. There are things that are meant to be shows,
Mhm.
and there are things that are meant to be movies.
Right.
This was meant to be a show. Like I don't think any of Marvel property now, honestly, I know it sounds weird because the Marvel movies are so prevalent in the zeitgeist. It's hard to watch
Movies are almost a dead media.
right, because
for
even the
kids-
current Marvel movies, they're all leading up to. It's essentially you're watching a season of a show every time you see a movie.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's going to lead into another movie.
Correct.
What they're doing now, I think they've forgotten how to make. I know that you're like, oh, this is good. This is their big fuck you. That no, nobody makes a movie
and
intending
spend $60 million.
for it to be a dumpster fire. I think they made this, watched it, and said, oh fuck.
No, I don't think they. I think
No,
they
actually,
fucked
take
them.
that back.
I think
The
they
people-
fucked them over, is what I'm saying.
Velocipaster was
the
the
people-
shit. Don't you
God damn
ever?
it.
I know you was gonna make fun of
Also,
Velocipaster.
Velocipaster wasn't $67 million
It was like
budget.
$6,
It
but
was-
it was the fucking slappiest.
Mm.
Anything that gives us Frankie Mermaid
It's
literally
the
is
best, bro.
100% worth.
I hope he gets his own something.
He should get his own
deserves
spinoff
it.
show. I would love it.
It's
I
incredible.
Adult
took
Swim.
some candy from a baby, and then I threw that baby in the river because no,
No
snitching,
snitching.
obviously.
One of the greatest. But yeah, so I think they've forgotten how to make singular, self-contained movies because they expect. I hate
When you
to say
say
it,
that, hold on. When you say they, are you
Marvel.
talking Marvel in general?
Marvel and Sony. I'm talking about people. It's when comic book tie-ins or lore tied in things now assume that people watching it are watching it with knowledge. Like there's almost no movie.
You think that the previous MCU movies, like leading up to the Endgame and Infinity War and everything, were not self-contained
No.
enough?
Think about it. Think about when you're watching. Like think about the first Iron Man, right? The first, even 2, maybe 3 Iron Man, and
Well,
the
Iron
first
Man 2
Captain
is
America.
trash, but
Right,
okay.
but the first Captain America, all of those movies seemed like they were in their world, like their universe. Iron Man was in its universe. The most like Thor Ragnarok might be one of the only ones where I'm like, yeah, that's supposed to be its own thing. It doesn't tie into anything. It's wonky. It's
right.
fun.
Yeah.
DC does a pretty good job of, and that might be their actual downfalls, that they do a good job of saying this movie is supposed to be this. Like Wonder Woman never has to interact with any of the other Justice League people, and I'm fine
Right.
because her movies by themselves. Shazam would be weird if he interacted with,
Yeah.
the aesthetic isn't the same, the feeling isn't the same. But that may also be their problem because if you want to put Shazam in a Justice League movie, the feeling would be weird because of the tone of the movie.
And they're different. Yeah.
And they're
yeah.
but the Marvel movies, I think they're forgetting how to make self-contained things. They're like, oh, you've done the research, right? Like, no, you tell me. You show me how this. Why should I care? Like, no. You go do the research. No, I don't want to do the research. I paid money for you to tell me why I like this. And I think that they're forgetting how. But again, that's our first time back.
But
in the movie
Marvel
theater
didn't
in
make this
forever.
movie though. Is a difference. So
Sony did, right? Sure.
Or Fox did.
Or
So
Fox did, my
here's
bad.
the only thing I'm
And
saying.
also the fucking Fantastic Four movies are garbage. So
Yeah.
That
So
might be
Fox.
their problem.
That's what I'm saying. Fox should not be allowed to
Not
touch.
the OG ones.
Oh, Tim.
you know what?
Or
Okay,
Jamie. The first one's good.
Are we talking about for pure camp or for quality?
Oh, Camp.
Yeah.
The
yeah, good.
the
fine.
very first Fantastic
The
Four
first Incredible
with
Hulk was terrible, but I can watch it all day. I can watch it all
What?
day. Garbage.
I
with
that
Eric
one.
Bana.
Garbage.
No, I know it's garbage. I'm saying you can watch it all
yeah,
day.
I'm like, this is bad.
Well,
Like,
That's the only
right,
thing I've ever
hold
fallen
on.
asleep to.
That's because we like to watch things that people wanted to be good, but
Fair.
are also
Right.
not good. I don't know. I mean, the MCU, as far as it did, I mean, they had a vision. I think they executed the vision. I'm very interested to see once we start getting like the Falcon and Winter Soldier and all the like WandaVision and shit like that on Disney Plus. I think it'll be interesting to see how they approach those. And then this phase 4 of MCU movies or phase 5 or whatever the fuck it is. I think it'll be interesting. I do agree for the most part, though. It is very, very hard, I think, for people to make a movie off of something that has so much source material, right? Like, at this point, if a movie's not 2-3 hours long, almost you're probably not getting, you might get a fun experience, but you're not getting like a quality entertainment experience. And I think that that's just due to how we do media. This, I think, is because Fox made Deadpool and it was good, and made Logan and it was good, and they thought they still had any rights to touch Marvel franchises because they made 2 R-rated movies when really Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds made those movies. It was just like produced by Fox. Kind of how I look at it. But no, I hated. I don't think there's any redeeming quality of this movie. I'm not shocked that Maui did, because he usually does look for a positive intention. I couldn't. It was too corny. It was too bad. It was too all over the place. The editing was bad. Who the fuck wrote it? Like a child? Like, did a child?
I thought you were asking me. I was like,
did a child write this movie? Because it almost seems like you asked a kid, and it's like, who's that kid? The kid on the internet who's like, and then 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 you're just like, and then what, man? Like, at what point are you going to get to the fucking point? And they're like, oh yeah, Big Bear, it eats people, and you're like,
I don't think they had a point. That was what I
like,
was saying.
The bear ate the people.
They got halfway through this, and then they watched it back, and they were like, who are these people? Even the people who made it were like, who? What were we? Oh shit! Like stuff like I'm assuming what happened is that have you ever seen a movie where the guy's like, I want my original vision made, so he sneaks into like the studio and switches out the script with his script,
yeah,
and then they read the whole show without looking at it first, and so it just turns into shenanigans. I feel like that was the real life of what happened. Like a writer was like, bears, like, you know, and he was like, bears and fire, and then they were like, please, Johnny, please. No bears, no fire. And he was like, my dad owns the studio.
How about shadow bears?
Right.
And you're like, no, the shadow doesn't make the bear any cooler. He's like, what if it's big? And they're like, no, bro.
Right. And he was like, my uncles used to touch me. Let's put them in there. Like, let's put them in there, but they got sharp teeth. And they're like, please, Johnny, just let us make this movie. And then he like went.
He's
to
like, my
his
brother
dad,
used to shake a whole lot, and he broke some stuff. So
and he went to his dad, and his dad was like, fucking just do it. I don't care. I own the studio. And halfway through, they had to make Johnny's movie, and that's what we got out of this, because it does not feel like one cohesive.
Jamie, will you do me a favor really quick? Will you look to
movie.
see when the filming actually wrapped? Like, it was supposed to come out 2 years ago. When did they actually wrap?
That's what I'm saying. I looked at, I don't know if it has a wrap, but based on just the way movies are, you would think it would be 2016, 2017.
Did the filming?
No, because it was supposed to release in what, 2018?
But did they go back and film any new stuff? Is what I'm
no,
saying.
that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that was the one complete.
Is they did it. That was the guy who originally made the movie said that his version was getting released. So I think they tried to do some other stuff after like 2018, but he was like, no, my version gets released. It's his version. So that's the version that was supposed to release in 2018.
I wouldn't have liked it then either. Huh. Okay. Yeah, can you really get the gravity of that though? You filmed a movie 4 years ago and then said this still works. We're putting it out.
I'm assuming they did it because they had to. Like obviously it was in the contract.
Too much of a loss.
You're not gonna make a $67 million movie. You're not gonna make a $67 million vanity piece. Basically, like, you're not gonna make a movie for yourself. You're going to.
That guy who did The Room did.
It did not cost $67 million. But he also released it. He wouldn't have made it and then not released the thing. And,
Yeah.
There's studios who, they're just hoping to make their money back. They know it's bad. They release it and hope that the name alone will carry it. But the craziest part about this is that this movie had no hype. First off, the only reason I knew it was coming out is because you bought me tickets. He bought me. Jamie bought me a ticket to the movie. That's how I knew it was coming out. You would think such a momentous occasion for like the first movie shown back in theaters would have had Marvel would have put some money into. That's how you know they had no, like you said,
faith.
they were just fulfilling a contract obligation, because
they're not using any of these people anymore. There's
right.
No way
they're
they
like,
do.
this is fine. Put it out. Let's we're not gonna market it. We're just gonna put it in theaters, and it'll be the first movie back to get people used to going back to theaters again. It'll be we'll make 20-30 mil. How much does it gross so far, Jamie? Could you check? If it says something like 100 million, I'm gonna start swinging. I swear I'll start
You
swinging.
better start swinging to the
Almost-
left.
Ooh. We're about to open up this pit.
Hold
I
on,
swear.
hold on.
So I read something last week that talked about it doesn't really work or matter that way now because of the way things are. In movie theaters only can be 25% full capacity. So
Yeah,
it,
sure.
it can't
But,
gross like
all right, so then multiply by 4. If you want to be like, if
So
you
if
want to
we-
be most
if- yeah.
simplest, if you want to do it in those simplest,
Like how much
terms,
money is it made, and then
we'll multiply by 4.
scale it
and that's
up.
what that's what it would have potentially made. Whatever.
Well, I would say 30%. Some places
20
did
million.
It made 20 million.
so far, or if you scale it up,
Box office is 20 million right
So
now.
it would have made its
So
money
80.
back essentially. Like,
so it would have broke
look,
even in a week.
and then
though.
got a little bit.
But
some.
think about it though. For a Marvel movie, that's god awful.
Well, yeah, it's deserving. Honestly, I hate to. I mean, I don't want to say be
And
mean
honestly,
about
there's
it,
some
but that's
movie
fine.
theaters that are like 50,
That's
60%.
what it should. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
it
ours
pro-
was packed as far like 25% capacity. It was full up to the capacity or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, that's fine, dude. That's actually a pretty good representation of how good this movie was. It would have barely made its own money back. I don't think there's been a Marvel movie beside.
And it's gonna
technically
get just forgotten at
has
this point. Like it's not
not-
gonna.
I don't think there's been a Marvel movie that's lost money. Beside, I guess this one now.
It still won't lose money if their budget was 70 million.
And they only make 20 something million. The opening weekend is usually when movies make their most
Oh
money.
well, yeah, but they're
Yeah.
gonna pass that off as COVID related. I'm saying if we scale it up, they would have made their money back.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Right. Yeah. True.
So I would still consider it not losing money because it's hard to say that it did. We know it would have
anything released right now would have lost money.
It would have. Now I will say my final thoughts.
I'll be
and
interested to see next week when we check Tenet and see how well that does.
Yeah.
What's Tenet's budget? I know it has nothing to do with this.
I looked earlier, it was like 200 million.
Yeesh.
Christopher Nolan though is a fucking the man though.
Agreed, but holy
He makes some
balls.
good shit.
200 million during some COVID? Yeesh.
No, but they made it before.
I
COVID.
know that they did that.
I
I'm
haven't seen. I
saying-
haven't seen it yet, but based off how Inception worked, I'm sure the special effects budget for that is
Probably.
$185 million.
Legitimately, I think literally they're like, hey, actors, we can give you $1. We spent all of this budget to make some cool things go pew pew and some spitty things go woo woo and upside down shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
But the only thing that I thought was great about the marketing, the movie, like everything, is the fact that it said the worst X-Men movie ever made. Macy Williams retweeted it and said, "Sounds like a perfect reason to go watch this movie."
That was my favorite.
and I was like, you know what?
I would have saw it just because of that tweet.
I was like, if I hadn't already seen it, I would have seen it literally just because of this, because you leaned into it, and instead of being trying to defend it or whatever, you're like, yeah, it may suck, but go find out for yourself. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, if you make your money back, I'll be okay with it. But I don't know how we'll see any of these characters again, which is a shame because like Magic is dope, Cannonball's pretty cool. I don't dislike Macy Williams as an actress. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a 0. I'm throwing out a 0. I'm saying eunuch. It gets a eunuch for me. I hated every minute of it. I liked 0 parts of the movie. 0 parts at all.
At all?
I hated it. I hated every minute of it.
Wow.
And the thing that sealed the coffin for me was the fact that when I realized that magic was when they're like, you can't do it because they're magic. And then she turns around before she goes in the portal. She goes, it's okay. So am I. And then she jumps through the portal. I was like, oh my God. That is the corniest. That's like some Mission Impossible 1996 fucking bullshit ass line.
Greatest.
which again would have been fine if they leaned into it. So remember,
And the fact that fucking Lockheed was a puppet, I was
that was kind
so
of the fun. So
mad.
I thought that was gonna be they were gonna do more with that from the horror movie element. Honestly, I thought there's a lot of wasted potential with that. Like I thought that they're like, she knows that she's making it talk to her. When it's not a magical dragon. I thought that they were gonna have like, if they were gonna go the horror movie route with this, there's so much more they could have done. Like they were really lazy with that.
They just gave up. They gave up.
Like
We'll put them in a rundown institution with the highest grade security anybody's ever seen, even though it looks like it's from the 1950s, so you don't know what time period you're in. And then it just no part
Did she
part of it was
This is gonna
good.
sound weird. Maybe you guys can help me with this. When the doors had to open, did she ask for doors to be open?
She would say it to open, but I don't know if she had like a
Who-
voice recognized security
yeah, who was
system.
opening those doors?
If her bosses were opening the doors or whatever, nobody, because the movie made no fucking sense. Every time you start to think about it, it gets worse, and I get madder and madder, especially with how much I love the Marvel universe. Like comics, movies, collectibles. I know you guys can't really see, but I've got just I've got so many of this shit. And then I love the X-Men. I know a ton about the X-Men, and I was kind of pumped for this movie because I was like, I know it's getting like, I thought it was going to be one of those like diamond in the rough kind of things, and it might not be as fleshed out as like the MCU budget shit, but you know, it was touted as like this little horror movie thing. It was horrible, but not like horror. I mean, I'm sad I hate it. And then the more I talk about it, the angrier I get, and I want to give it like fucking any numbers. Like your dick never actually came out. Like it just, the schmeat stayed inside. So
Yeah.
-5 schmeat.
Yeah, hidden penis meat. I feel you. Yeah. Okay.
Micropene. Yeah, yeah.
Not even, no, micropene comes
Oh,
out a little
reverse
bit.
peen.
Yeah.
But
No,
vagina.
hidden penis, so you don't see it.
Vagina.
I would almost say vagina since the vagina is just an inside out schmeat. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, probably. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
They don't got no balls
They
though.
don't got. Yeah, I mean, they got
But-
ovaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, but fair.
inside
So
balls.
ovaries are testicles, but just on the
Right.
inside.
Gynecologist in the audience, if you could help us out, or
As far as I'm concerned,
Are-
ovaries are white. Jizz, like testicles are white. So they're the same thing. They're
are
just-
they?
I said in my mind.
Gynecologist, if you could help us out,
Hit
Or
D-Mark's
hit
DMs.
my DMs so you can explain how anatomy works to me.
Eggs
Never
are
learned it.
white, right? So the thing that makes them should be white.
That makes sense. Solid logic.
Yeah, fuck it. Fuck
I
it,
mean,
bro.
I don't
Yeah,
have-
you in there, bro. Yeah, no,
I don't
that's
know.
excellent.
I don't know the female body at all.
That's fair.
I
just
got-
be looking up.
I got 2 kids, but I don't know how it happened.
The stork brought them. Stork white brought the kids.
Yeah, stork's white.
Vultures bring black children. Little
What brings Hispanic children?
I don't know, bro. Robin.
No.
No, I'm trying
Robin's
to think.
brown.
Are
So
they?
a vulture's kind
Are robins brown?
is it a vulture?
Sparrow?
because-
I'm asking you,
Hold on, hold
Sparrow
on.
Brown.
Did you pick? Why did you pick a vulture? I need you to pick. I need you
They're
to tell
kind
me.
of black.
Okay.
What else would? Hold on. What else?
Nope.
What?
No, that's why I asked you.
What?
So I didn't have to say. So I didn't have to say anything that I thought.
Yeesh.
So if we're going off color, what's a brown bird? Like Firo?
So a sparrow's brown.
I said sparrow. Like
Are they
3
brown?
times.
But they're so small.
Yeah, they can bring a baby. Maybe.
I mean, Hispanic
are
people
stronger
can
than
be
you
pretty
think.
pretty flamboyant, right? So maybe a flamingo.
Wow, that's a hard generality.
It is.
Generality.
I'm
there.
just. He picked a
They do
vulture
be
because it's
spicy.
black,
Yeah.
and black people are black. So I just tried to come
Yeah.
up with something else.
Are Latinos pink? Are Hispanics pink?
No, he said because we're more flamboyant.
No, I'm saying their personalities are huge. They're very vibrant.
No, you said flamboyant.
I did because I thought flamingo, and then the next word that came to head was flamboyant
Mhm.
because they seem almost like the same word.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
Flamboyant, flamingo.
Yeah,
I think that's actually look that up. See if flamingo is.
Look that shit up.
Look
Jimmy.
that up.
flamingo, flamboyant bird.
Look if that's why they call it that. Like, look up its Pokédex. or
Not
something.
X just got back from Colorado, and they went to the zoo. And the first thing he said to me when he got home was, "Do you know how bad fucking flamingos stink?" He goes, "That's the smelliest bird I've ever been around
Has
in my
he never
entire
been
life."
to a zoo?
Well, yeah, but how often do you see
How do you
flamingos?
smell flamingos?
They have flamingos here
Flamingo
in
comes
Indy.
from the Spanish word flamenco, which means
Is a
fire.
dance. Oh,
Or bright colors.
Hey. Okay, so
so
flamingos. and
Latin
flamboyant
people
not
are
the same.
fiery,
There we
and
go.
flamingos are
Yeah.
fiery.
There we go.
So I guess
So
basically-
flamingos
yeah.
bring Hispanic people.
That's fair.
I-
Cool.
Hey, that's fair.
and they've got like the big extra beaks and shit, so it's like a stork.
Gotta
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
It's real close.
I thought he was gonna make a nose joke, but
I
all
thought
right.
he was too.
No,
Yeah, that
vultures
was
got
weird.
bigger beaks, and then storks got bigger beaks. So maybe pelicans bring babies too, but I just don't know what kind. Islanders, they scoop them up out of the water and then they drop them off
It's
on
kind
the
of a
island.
much more efficient way to bring babies.
A
Like out of
pelican.
a big pelican beak instead of like wrapped up in a sheet that it could just drop out. Like babies are constantly moving. I don't understand how that works.
They come out of the ground. They get shot out in pods, and they're floating in the water. And then pelicans just come and dive and pick them up, throw them in their gullet, and then throw them up in somebody's house.
Yes,
Like, I have a present for you. Like, I don't want that present. You're like, too bad.
it's
And
yours
then
now.
the bird flies away.
18 years with the present right here. Okay, so yeah, so X gave it a 0, which is
-5.
-5. Yeesh. All right, I will get. So if I'm gonna analyze it from like a pure casual, that also I was gonna say that. So that may be why the audience score has gotten better and better because they're going from more of a boom lights pow pow Marvel. Like they're like, I like things that go pow, and I like more comic stuff. And like I guess because watching it, I don't even know anything about the New Mutants. I just know I'm offended by how poorly they did the the characters, and I don't even know the characters. That's weird. Maybe I'm the problem. Like, but the special effects are great, which is kind of fucking stupid for me to say that. That's actually still like, all things considered, they did a really good job with the effects. Like, I felt, especially with the cannonball, I legitimately like they did a really good job of like making his powers like didn't not look hokey. Like, if you remember like back to the original Fantastic Four movies, how bad Johnny Storm on fire looked, which is kind of actually how bad old boy looked on fire. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Man,
I
was
was trying to
mad
get
as
my
hell.
nut, like, and he didn't get it.
How dare I be a virgin a second time after having some pussy thrown at me?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
How dare I be a virgin?
A second time.
That almost sounds like when somebody goes to church and they get saved and they're like, I'm a virgin again.
Yeah, born again virgin.
How
Yeah.
dare I?
And
It
you're
was
like,
on purpose.
and you're like,
It was on accident.
did they stretch some new skin across it? Because I'm pretty sure if they didn't,
Yeah.
he's still not a virgin.
Whoop.
It's
You
like
know.
it's like
Whoop.
blinds.
Also,
They
hymens
just
do not indicate.
Shh.
All right,
Shh.
that's fine. So, my overall score, like, honestly, the special effects were fine. I'll give it a 1, just because I'm gonna give it the credit that it's due for for the quality of the special effects. But the story, dog shit, like garbage. Like, it's real.
Do you think something that spent $67 million would have any reason to not have good special effects though? Like, it's not one of those where like, oh, this actually had a low budget but good special effects. It had a high
You're
budget.
saying I shouldn't give it credit because it did exactly what it was supposed to?
It did what it was expected to do as far as special effects
That's what
go.
I'm saying. So I shouldn't give it credit for executing because it met expectations?
No, you shouldn't.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
I'm still gonna give it a 1. That's fine. The story was awful. The acting was tough. Like, it's but again, I'm collecting all my thoughts here at the end, thinking, old boy Cannonball. Honestly, his voice was weird, but his acting in general, I felt like I'm like, yeah, I want to know more about this guy. Like, none of the other characters gave me any sort of caring about what happened before. But Cannonball's character, I legitimately was like, man, I wonder what happened. Like, I want to see more of this character. He's doing his job to as well as he can given the circumstances. Like, they, how poorly they were able to execute a lot. You got to think, this was all shot in one location. Like, you think they would do a much better job of being self-contained and like saying, hey, here's your motivation. Let's act these out. Let's reshoot. I'm hoping that they did this all in one take, like all just one shots. We don't have the time or budget to do more than 1 or 2 shots, because if this is the best that they could do, given the fact that nobody had to leave anywhere, they shot it all in one area. So the budget for the setting couldn't have been that high. They should have had a lot of time to work with each other and things like that. There's almost no chemistry between any of the characters. The scene where they're like, oh, we're gonna use the lie detector. They left the fucking jackets on.
Oh,
During the lie
my
detector.
God,
That's not
I
how
forgot
that,
about that.
Simple shit like that. Where like, come on, if I can, I'm not even analyzing. I'm not even cutting it apart. You know what I'm saying? And I can notice dumb shit like that. Like, oh, we got free reign through the thing, but she can't find, or she has surveillance everywhere, but she can't find us here. Are you sure? Are you sure you're not fucking stupid, you idiot? Like, so simple things like that where they expect the audience to, when you're watching movies like this, you have to suspend your disbelief. There's something to be said about, it's your job to get halfway there. It's your job to go, all right, I'm going into this with 0 expectation. It's the movie's job to pull you the rest of the way. And they did a fucking dog shit job. I was already in. I got there and I was like, cool. Horror movie, he said, when he described it, which I've noticed that Jamie is terrible at describing anything, but I went in there with the expectation. Don't
look hurt.
You terrible.
Don't sit over there and just be like,
What?
You're bad at describing things.
I didn't
so.
describe New Mutants.
You did. You said
When?
it's going to be a horror movie. It's going to be a horror movie, Marvel movie, horror Marvel. And I was like, ooh, that's going to be fun. Like, I'm interested to see what they do with that. And I got there with
I
no
did say that.
right. I got there with no expectation. I got there with like, I'm waiting to see what essentially would be a new genre. Like, you know what I'm saying? A new type of, a new
Also,
endeavor.
that's not me explaining it. That's just me saying what I read.
Is it on fire?
I don't think something's on fire. It sounds like somebody's trying to cook something with fire.
Okay. Well, all right. Hey, if this is the last you hear of us,
You know
Yeah.
what happened.
you know what happened. Okay, so yeah, yeah, like they just did like a really bad job of execution all around. Like, I'm not saying that I could have done a better job. I could have done a better job. But this was a very bad showing from all around, and it bums me out that Fox is so bad at movies. Like, I don't think I've seen a single Fox Marvel movie. Venom was kind of okay. That's Sony, right?
That's Sony.
That's Sony. I don't think I've seen a single Fox property that
I mean, Fox is X-Men, so I mean,
The first X-Men movie, good. Second
They made
X-Men
Logan?
movie, okay.
Yeah.
No. Hugh Jackman made Logan. Fox produced it. I don't want to give them any credit because of a character that Hugh Jackman owned, and then Ryan Reynolds strong-armed them for a decade on Deadpool. He said, "I won't make
That's
the movie
true.
unless you let me do what I want." They're
that's
like,
true.
"You can't do it."
And so when they let go of the reins, you get a
Anyone
much better
else
movie.
does
That's
better.
funny, right? Like it's such a poor movie, but such a poor example of taking. Imagine having the script literally written for you, like it's already out there. The material already exists. All you have to do is translate that to the screen, which should be your singular job. You don't have to come with a new IP. It's not something new you just did. It's not something that people aren't expecting to be good or bad. They're going in with the expectation that all you have to do is turn this from paper to silver screen, and they did and that makes it even worse. It would be different if this was a new IP. This is an established thing that nobody really knew about. So it would have been a chance for people to, after I watch a Marvel movie and there's some character I don't know, I usually go look. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'm interested in that. This did nothing for me. I just looked up. I remember half the characters' names. The lady who was the professor lady, don't know her name, don't care. Like, I'm sure she's some actually pretty decent villain in the comic books.
Cecilia Reyes.
She got eaten by a bear. Who cares?
Like, they didn't do a good job tying it in anything. Like, they didn't even do a little sneaky, like, oh, hey, they're gonna be X-Men eventually in the new, in the Marvel.
They said the word X-Men one time.
Yeah, sure, but they said like, oh, who would want to be X-Men?
What if I don't want to be an
Right.
X-Men?
Terrible execution all around. Like, if you try again, like I try again with the same property, it's fine. Like, there's a lot you can do with this concept. They just did such a piss poor job, and I would implore people not to go see this. But I also want someone to go see this so they can go, wow, yeah, this is not how movies should be. So every movie you watch after that, you would have a more critical eye of what dog shit garbage looks like. If you've ever wanted to drink the juice that comes out of your trash can, just go see this movie. It's the same thing.
Ew.
So 1 out of 10. Maui?
Cool. So I think I went into it right with really low expectations. So I'm not down on it like you guys are. I also watch it on a $5 bootleg, so I feel pretty good about my purchase. So I would probably give it a 4 out of 10. Mostly because I think I like where they were going, I like the direction they were going. I like some of the characters. I like some of the topics they touched on with some of the characters. I'm more disappointed, like the same way I was disappointed with Project Power was I felt like there was a lot left on the table. And what makes this suck really bad is that I feel like we're never gonna see any of that stuff get flushed out. And it would have been a way better decision to decide to make this a TV show instead of a movie, because they could have flushed out all of those characters. We could have had a lot more, because a lot of the topics they talked about are pretty personal stuff, right? When you talk about like sexual abuse or rich parents, like a lot of the characters, a lot of the backgrounds that they have was really good. Very, I want to say typical of like a TV show. Very typical, really easy to relate to, really easy to connect with the character. So all they needed to do was follow through, and they were just like, it seemed like kind of like you said, they were like, oh shit, like time to kind of wrap up this movie. How we're gonna do it? Well, fuck it, let's just do a shit storm of shit and leave a bunch of like shit just kind of like hanging around. But even still, I guess I'm in love with the potential, and it's interesting to me that you guys give this a negative score and a 1, but then thoroughly enjoyed Velocipaster.
That was a fucking
That's not
excellent
the same.
movie.
It's
And
so
they're not
They're
funny.
the
two
same.
different kinds of
I
movies.
understand, but we talked about that last episode too, where I said I much prefer somebody to try hard
Right, and fail.
and suck
Right.
than be good at being bad. I think that's just offensive.
Yeah, this meets
So-
what more of you like. Yeah,
Exactly. So for me, I was like, yeah, I see what they were going with this, and it was bad. Especially at the end, I was like, what the fuck's the point of this bear? Like, what's the whole point of the fucking bear? Does she control the bear? Does that mean that now her power's gonna be manifesting the bear to fight for her? Which
would
going
have
on?
been so much
Cool.
better.
Yeah, sure. But they didn't. They left it all like, yeah, the bear's going fucking hibernate, going to sleep. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And I'm a big story guy. I really enjoy deep, fulfilling stories, and I pay attention to a lot of these details for the hope of getting paid off at the end. And they're like, the payoff was dog shit. So in turn, the movie is dog shit. But they like it. I wish I could have seen more of the effects, but again, it was a $5 bootleg, and it was just a little bit too dark. It was also like the person that was recording it was eating popcorn. I could hear it the entire time, and also like it had commercials. Weirdly enough, it had commercials about a casino like website. in between, like in the movie, like I'll be watching and all of a sudden like some dudes like throwing like baseballs, cards, and whatever. Bro, I'm telling you, bro. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? But I was like, I'm riveted, bro. I'm in here, bro. Like,
We're gonna throw this bootleg up on our merch site that we have, and if anybody wants to buy it, they
The
can-
official When Awesome Collides
bro,
bootleg.
bro. It was
Be
it was
a
something.
cam of a cam.
Yeah,
but,
it was.
But
definitely
hey, guys,
Camboy.
remember we got to make money too, so it probably won't be $5.
I honestly, I kind of prefer. I would like to watch that version you had with all the commercials and shit. It would make me feel like 2012 again.
Then it kind of
like when
made you
it's-
feel like you're watching a show too, which helped.
Yeah.
You're like, what the
See, okay,
commercial?
that
What
would
the
give
fuck
me
is
a whole
going
different
on?
feel.
Yeah, bro, it was different, bro. It was different. But you can't really see like all the dark scenes. Like I wished I would have seen it in the movie theater because there would have been a lot more finer details. Would have been more crisp, whatever. Especially like when they talk about what's the Russian chick's name again?
Ileana.
Like her stuff when they were really kind of going into her stuff and it was all really dark, whatever. Like I wish I could have seen like all the details and I would have been like, oh shit, that's really cool. But I was like, oh, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Or when I couldn't understand what the fuck was being said because, you know, muffling bad mics and shit like that. So, but overall, even with the shitty viewing experience and all, still get a 4 out of 10. Like, it was a good attempt. They had a lot of like good stuff they touched on, like I said, with the lesbian stuff and also the individual stories with the parents and their individual you know, each character's backstories. I thought was really cool. The only person that I feel like got left hanging was, I thought the most interesting person was Old Boy on Fire dude. Like they just like
That is
the Old Boy on Fire dude.
Old Boy
Yeah.
on
You
Fire.
thought he was the most interesting person?
Yeah, the way they presented it was he was very secretive and like he was a millionaire and like so he was like a pompous asshole. And then so like they go about it and they start kind of taking apart his character and kind of leaving him really, really vulnerable to the point he finally has that vulnerable moment with what's her name again?
Charles.
Not Charles. What's her name?
Ileana.
Ileana. And then so that was like again that was a big payoff and it was just done so shittily and then obviously angry, mean, whatever. So like I thought it was the only reason I said it was most interesting is because the way they went about it. Like that was supposed to be the long-term storytelling next to Moonbird or whatever the fuck her name is. That was supposed to be the longest one, right? She's the main character.
Who's not PC
Oh,
now?
I love it. He abandoned that
I
after
know
a
he
week. He
did,
said,
right?
"He's like this
Moon-
character was
Hey,
too
you
hard."
you guys know it's like Moonstar or Moonstone or Moonrock or something. I must just say Moonbird.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was supposed to be the big payoff, and then his was supposed to be the second biggest payoff, and I felt like we were kind of let down on both payoffs. So like you're for me, I'm forgiving the little minute detail stuff for hopefully that the big payoff would be kind of worth it, and it wasn't. So even like the whole big reveal of her being like an asshole and being like a bad guy, and even though like I was like, I don't know, this is X-Men. I remember Charles having no side bitches talking about like, hey, look, you gonna get some bitches or you gonna get some people, and then like if you feel like they're good enough, then you send them to me. Like I was like, oh, this shit don't add up to me. But you know, I was trying to, you know, get into it. So 4 out of 10 for me.
Jamie, real quick.
Like I said earlier, I give it like a 6.
Oh,
Could you explain?
which
so mainly for me,
This nigga also like Dragon Ball Z. So.
I went into
Hold on.
it.
For the story.
a six for Jamie
Nigga
though.
love Dragon Ball Z
A
for the
6
story.
for Jamie though is
No,
bad.
it's not
Jamie
for the
usually gives
story at
everything a
all.
20 out of 10.
Jamie said that Dragon Ball Z story is so cohesive. Like everything, I would just
It
watch
don't make
no
sense.
fighting scenes. I would
Jamie's
like
just-
I
favorite.
said-
Jamie's favorite episode was where they got their driver's
I
license.
enjoy.
That was kind of a banger. though.
I said
Piccolo driving
said
a car was the greatest.
before we went into the theater, I wanted to see powers.
Yeah.
I wanted to see things happen.
Yeah.
I got that out of the movie.
a 6 out of 10.
So
It met my expectations.
Also, right? Also, it's kind of like it's a standalone film. It's not like I have to. If it was probably gonna go like, if this was like, hey, this is New Mutants, now put them into the MCU, or we're getting a sequel, it'd probably be more like a 3, because then I'm like, this ain't setting up nothing for me. But as a standalone, like one-time watch, I give it a 6 because I'm like, I ain't never gonna really probably watch it again. But I didn't hate it. I walked out of the theater like, enjoyable. That's how I
Interesting.
put it.
So you still it's
So
it's
I
above
watched-
average. So
It's above average.
What's a movie for you
it's-
that's below average?
You don't have one. 6 is where shit starts.
it's
It's like you with the D grade.
The C grade, you
know.
mean? I started C. Yeah.
I'm not a fan. What's that war movie that just came out? That's like all done in one shot. Not a big fan of that movie, and everybody loved it.
1984.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Didn't like really. Wasn't a big fan.
Not 1984 or something like that.
Like,
But
I'd
he
give that
doesn't-
like I'd give that like
It's
a
19.
2.
18 or something like that.
1918.
So he doesn't like the movie that won a shitload of Oscars, but he likes the movie.
Also, what's that movie with the Mahershala dude?
What?
Yeah,
Mahershala
yeah,
Ali.
Mahershala, the new Black
Mahershala.
Panther. He was also
Mahershala.
he's sitting in like the back seat of a car.
Oh, you mean
everybody loved that movie? Didn't like that movie either.
it won Oscar for best movie?
Okay.
Yep, didn't like
Yeah,
that
that's
either.
some white
Didn't
nigga
like
that
this.
decided.
Thank
yeah,
you.
not
That-
him.
No,
that
it
would
was
be like
because
that
of
would have been like a
Blade guy
3.
or Cottonmouth.
No,
That
I
would've been
like
like a-
deciding it.
Diamondback? Is he
Nah.
Cottonmouth or Diamondback?
He's Diamondback.
Same thing.
He's Diamondback. Cottonmouth is the other one.
I think he's Cottonmouth.
I think he's
Is he
Cottonmouth.
Cottonmouth? The Diamondback's
And then
the other one.
Diamondback's
Okay,
the-
yeah.
Man, Cottonmouth
But yeah.
sound kind of racist, bro. I'm sorry, but I was like, Cottonmouth.
It's
Hold
a
on.
snake.
It's a whole snake.
I know,
bro.
I know, but I'm saying like it's like
You say everything sounds racist.
no, yeah. Hold on, what was I saying? Like, damn, I can't remember what the fuck I was. So you guys remember when we're playing Fall Guys? So you know, like the bottom of the caveman dude, like his attire. I was calling it the Unga Bungas, and then see, so
Also, hold up. It can't be racist because didn't Cottonmouth like a snake?
No,
That's what he
right.
said it don't matter.
But
But it
Unga-
just sound weird. So
Unga
now to
Bunga-
finish what I'm saying, like Unga Bunga sound. It's really fucking funny to say, but also does not sound like something I should be saying. And if anybody wants to correct me, PC warriors out there, hit my DMs. Let me know if I need to correct myself.
Hey,
What
all
do
the
you call it?
Bungas out there.
What
if
do you
y'all
call-
Let us know why we
Hold
shouldn't
on.
call y'all that.
If there's any Paleolithic men that take offense to Unga Bunga,
You let us know.
let us know.
All the caveman out there. If
No,
y'all-
for sure, bro. All the Neanderthals, you know what I'm saying, out there.
Geico, if y'all got your
No,
niggas on deck,
yeah.
you send them on through.
We're gonna slowly devolve into actually saying something racist. So on that note,
Nah, I got constraint.
on that note,
Edit that out.
the average score here it's sitting at least a 1. I would say from negative to
No,
6.
'cause
6,
you said-
4, 1, and oh, I guess you gave it a negative.
I just said
so
negative
7.
5.
Oh,
So
negative
that
5,
between
yeah.
me
That's
and
probably
Jamie
2.
averages to a 1.
Don't make me
you
give
have
it a 10
1.
to raise that average.
Oof.
Ugh. Anyway, thank you everybody for listening. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, which is WA3C Tweets, which is different than all the Win Awesome Collide stuff. We stream almost every day now, but typically Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays are our 3 big days, and it's either going to be Maui. It's Maui WA3C. Is that your?
Yes, sir.
And then Left Eye Xavier for Twitch. They usually stream onto our Facebook page. Make sure you hit follow, hit the bell, hit notifications, hit YouTube, whatever it is. We also do just have our merch up, which is actually selling. And I say that self-deprecatingly, I guess, because we kind of just made it and we're hoping, but we've
Yeah, we've actually had
We've
some
actually
good
sold
sales.
some-
Hey, so
sold
you know,
some
thank,
shit.
hey, big ups out there for everybody who's ordered
shout out to
merch
the
so
day
far.
ones.
We also do have a Patreon finally. It's patreon.com/WhenAwesomeCollides. We don't have the tiers up yet, except for the you like us and you want to be nice to us tier. And we do have a t-shirt tier coming. I haven't worked out everything. Don't worry about it. Just go and give me
It's
money.
coming.
Now. You give me money now, and then we tell you what you get later.
Yeah.
Commerce. Jamie, take us out.
No,
No,
Nope.
We're gonna get trademarks. That's what y'all niggas doing.
We're gonna hit into Jurassic Park and everything else.
Oh, that's not where I thought it was going. I thought it was
Nah,
going.
it's the final countdown, yeah.